a bird in the hand. And I think with what Mr. Abernathy's saying and what the plan that they're showing here, I would not let that one fly away.
Anybody else? Are you do you all have any questions? I guess my biggest concern is I would certainly like to see the plan out there that they're working on, and I see some final results of that before we made a decision, but at the same time, I certainly appreciate a bird in the hand also. So, with that being said, and you guys, Jason, you said on that committee is having that project completed, is that going to affect, if we approve this today, is that going to affect what you guys are working on?
I don't believe so, not based, I mean, and these two gentlemen that have spoken, that are residents in that area, also come to the meetings and are very articulate and vocal and obviously educated on the subject. I don't believe it's going to change this particular situation on this particular corner if you look at it in quadrants. No, I don't. I think this is the best use for the property in some form. I have expressed my concern about the cut through. Mr. Abernathy, I certainly understand, as I have used, I'm guilty of using Country Brook as a cut through to get to Lytle.
So am I.
I understand the four-way stop concept. That certainly does slow it down. So no, I don't. Linda, you could speak to this as well, and as could the gentleman in the audience. I don't think that there's going to be something revolutionary come out of that that's going to affect this.
What I asked was not very eloquent, because I agree with everything you just said.
Okay.
I mean, I've been to all those meetings but one that we've held every month, and when we talk about, in the Red Line Hunter project, we're talking mostly about 122.
Right.
And at one point, when we started, we did talk about how far Red Line actually went, and they were talking how, like, out to Texas Eastern. And none of us that have been in Township forever consider Texas Eastern part of Red Line. And, you know, I think what he said about the commercial, you build it and they come. You don't build commercial with the hopes that somebody's going to use it eventually. You know, commercial results out of need. And
Well, but Linda, you still have to
No,
own some property for that.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
And nobody's talking about developing and asking for zoning across the street either. So when that comes, we'll have to make sure that we zone.
Absolutely. Part of the Red Line Hunter project is that new road, I don't even know what the new road's called, into London. They're across from Don Gingrich's place. What's the new road called? Is this 123?
They renamed the connector
Okay.
to the
Oh, okay.
portion.
Well, that property, and I think it's Gunlock property now, that's where they talked about it in our meeting as being that industrial commercial was on the south side of 122. I'm not saying that's not right, you know, I'm just saying that's where when in our meetings, that's what we talked about, where the industrial and commercial would be.
I mean, realistically, we've been saying this for years around here, that I can't ever imagine, in my lifetime, seeing a big industrial movement to Red Lion. I mean, you've got all kinds of property between Red Lion and 75 that could be developed closer up and down 75. It's just not going to be an industrial area. Yes, sir. Not mine.
I just wanted, again, being on the Community Action Committee group, here are some minutes from those meetings. And if you look at the keywords that keep popping up time and time again, and they did one of those charts that makes the words bigger, you know, if they show up more times, you know, it's words like charm, community, family friendly, quality, residential, you know, that's what we want in Red Line. We want to have an identity in Red Line that's family friendly. This is ideal. This is exactly what we're looking for. So, you know, we may fine tune some of the details, but we certainly, we would love to welcome this to the area. We just have to figure out, you know, the best it's like everything, when you get to the details, that's where the real trouble comes in. So,
You know, okay, I was just saying, dealing with Mr. Abernathy over the years, we don't, I mean, he builds fine development, so we don't have a lot of complaints. I mean, we've had a couple of go-rounds over the years, Bob, but
Yeah.
we always got them worked out.
It gets solved somehow.
They do, they do. So that's fine. Okay, anybody else have anything? So we have a couple, several options. Obviously, as Mr. Palmer pointed out, we can approve this as is. We can approve it and modify it with unanimous vote, or we can table it until such time as we deem to bring it back before us. And that could be when the plan was done that they're working on. So gentlemen, what are your preferences?
You might want to close your public hearing.
Before I ask them what they want?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not asking for a
I do have,
motion.
you know,
I'm
one
asking
question.
for comments. I'm not asking for a motion. I'll take.
Then you can keep it open if you want.
When precisely, or do we know when that bypass, eastern bypass is gonna say, this is what we want? Is there ever gonna be?
I don't know what decade that would be, sir.
Yeah.
So you're implying it's not gonna be anytime soon?
I wouldn't expect it.
Based upon what I'm seeing, I don't see it anytime soon.
It'll never happen in my life. And I'm planning on being old, so.
You are old.
I have nothing to do with that group. I talked to Jonathan Sams about that not too long ago, and figuring maybe he has a better view on it. He said that really that's gonna have to stand on its own merits, that all that discussion of what's going on in I-75 and the Brent Spence Bridge, that's way down the pike right now. Yes, they don't have the money yet, there's plenty of things to be done, but if and when this is ever seriously considered, it would just be based on its own, you know, the own merits of putting in a new bypass and all that, which means that they've gotta come up with the money with it, they've gotta get the right of way, all, you know, we're talking a long ways away.
Absolutely. Okay, and you guys have any more comments before we end the public hearing?
I do not.
Okay. I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing and reconvene our regular meeting at approximately 6:32.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard? Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yeah.
Mr. Wade?
Yes. Okay, now that we are back, we do have resolution 4987, a resolution to approve or deny the application.
I was like, oh, what?
And at this time, is there a motion to approve or deny? Or table.
Yeah, I mean, that is an option,
Later
which is
date.
not the previous.
The later date could be next meeting.
On a big thing, I don't like the rush. If we could wait, it would not jeopardize your bird in the hand to wait 2 weeks,
I don't believe 2 weeks would be.
or whenever our next
Okay,
meeting
so
is.
you're going to give it some.
What's the
thought?
purpose of the delay? Can I ask that?
What's that?
Can I ask what the purpose of the delay is?
Just,
Just give it one more thought.
I guess so he understands completely how his vote is going to come, and evidently have not made up your mind at this point.
I'm ready to vote now.
Okay.
But that's, if you want to wait 2 weeks, we can wait 2 weeks. That's, I mean, we're basically talking about changing the zoning.
Yeah.
We're not saying,
You're not approving the plan that's submitted, that's a
right, we're
concept.
just talking about
You're saying,
zoning.
is this appropriate to be residential instead of the four
Yeah,
previous spots?
yeah, this diagram could change. This was a concept, which we'll get to the details of that at a later date.
I'll be required actually to go through several steps in Warren County,
Oh, yeah.
make my way back in here, so.
Okay. Well, if it's just zoning only.
Yeah, then we're really going back to the R1, is what
Right.
the real
Yeah.
request is.
Sure.
Okay? You wanna move?
so moved
To
to approve.
Second.
roll call, please.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Thank you all very much. Thanks for attending. Y'all are welcome to-
I don't need
You can shield it, you can shield the propane. No, I don't know where gas is. I think it might be near the Texas gas thing.
No, it's closer than that. I don't know exactly. I do know we got,
Well, it's gotta be down there.
We got the rest of our meeting to go.
Oh, yeah, there's gas.
You guys can go out in the hallway.
Sorry, yeah.
Just go with somewhere else. Turn the lights a little bit.
Okay, moving on to new business, we have the road department, a purchase recommendation, replacement of the superintendent's truck with a Durango, purchased from Key Chrysler Jeep.
Yes, sir, we're actually getting this at 2016 cost, and it was pre-ordered by another subdivision, so we ended up purchasing it, so we're actually getting it several $1,000s cheaper than the new one would be, and it's brand new, 2017 to 2016 prices. They just happen to have it on the lot, but already came with all the extras, and he brought it by, and it just made sense.
I haven't gotten your old truck, did we put that on Gov Deals, or is
We're
that?
going to, yeah.
Until we get him something else to drive.
It's 160,000 going on 17 years old, and it's got holes through the floorboards and everything, so
It's time.
I would think that would be better for you to be able to look at the road from that perspective to judge. I don't understand what the problem is.
we've been putting a lot of money, small things in it for the last several years.
Then if that's the case.
17.
I would have to entertain a motion to approve this purchase.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah, I guess that's when you pushed as far as you could push it.
Yeah, it's getting close.
And we have a monthly report too from the road department?
Yes, sir, just to be brief, we've only had 4 events so far this year, and we've got everybody about 21.5 hours overtime on those events, and 1 at 18, so it hasn't been too brutal yet. I couldn't tell you exactly how much salt we've used, but we've ordered 500 tons since the season started, so it's,
Any of that been delivered at this point?
yes, that's what's been delivered.
That's what's been delivered.
So it's, and we loaded it more so than it was when we started, so there's extra in there. We haven't used that much, that's just what we ordered this year.
Okay. Very good. Any questions for the?
Nice job so far.
Yeah, all right, good. I went up down Bone Hill and the Band-Aids, it was good. Okay, moving on to the planning and zoning department, request services from the Warren County Regional Planning Commission, conduct a public charrette.
Yep, this is an outgrowth of our meeting that we had a month or so ago, looking for an entity, said go back to the well, we go back to the well, they think within 5 months they can process a park plan via charrette option. So, if this is something that you guys are willing to do, then I'll need Mr. Mearsclaw and Mr. Wade to sign the agreement. If there are modifications or things that you need to play with, those are additional discussions, but it's pretty straightforward, and it would meet the minimum discussion that we had of we need a basic plan, we need something that's gonna give us some guidance before monies would be spent on the true plans, the true drawings, all that fun stuff. But it'll give us a starting point so we know where to grow from.
All good with that? Okay, we will be glad to, that's right. Doesn't matter if you, it doesn't matter.
Makes no difference.
Okay, I'm certainly happy to sign that. I don't think you need a motion for that.
No, just wanted to make sure it was something that we talked in public forum, brought it back to the public forum so that we could go.
Okay.
Awesome.
And how about your monthly report?
If I could, just since you did say that you want to do that, there will be a meeting with regards to this Thursday at 10 o'clock for anyone to attend.
I'm moving my office that morning.
Oh, well, congratulations that you're.
He just made it up, by the way.
Yeah, again. Well, no, staff is meeting with regional planning about that to do the preliminary.
And I can
Is
attend
able
as
to
a
attend.
citizen.
Is
Yes,
it here or?
it is here, this room. So that But
I won't be there. I would prefer to be
I was gonna say
there.
moving.
for my monthly, sir, I can answer any questions. We're up just a little bit from last year.
Anybody have any questions for Jeff with this monthly report? Okay, thank you. Fire district?
It's the monthly report, and we revised it. You notice it's got a little bit
Wow.
different look to it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's more of a, it still has the same information. We removed some of the stuff that's not real critical, but it's got most of the same information, but we also added somewhat of a newsletter feel to it. So
People love graphs.
it's just easier because stuff kind of pops out actually a little bit better. I came up with the idea, but Jennifer Whittle, our part-time clerk, deserves all the credit because she did all the work. She's got to credit for it. It looks so good because of what she did, so she deserves the credit. And if you look, we had 3,125 runs this year, so record savings for us.
It's a bunch. Anybody have any questions for Steve with his monthly report?
Where's that put us in, against 15, 3125,
We were
without me looking it up?
around 2,900.
Okay.
I can get that for you exactly.
No, that's okay.
Okay, any other questions for fire district?
It's good.
Police department monthly report? Good to see you back.
If you got any questions, we were up to answer it. The only I would say is we had a young man tragically took his life last week at the vocational school, so thoughts go out to that family and students who are affected down there. On the technical side of that, the way the police departments operate on an on-call for a school shooting, got very well, and very good early evacuation of the schools down there, so I'm happy that it worked. Hope we don't have any more, but maybe it's unfortunate that we lost a life.
Okay, any questions for the chief about his monthly report? Okay, we have, for the administration, approval request for auction items.
You can take that off for now. I thought we might have a list, but we'll do it next meeting.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, as you noticed, the flow of the agenda was a little different. I reversed the order just to not make anybody think they were any more important than anybody else. And change it up a little bit. If you prefer it a different way, let me know, but the road department didn't even wait till last every meeting.
Did you care?
We had previously talked about, using the Hoffman property, and I think it's probably time to move on to the hay baling option that we talked about. If you're okay with that, I'll reach out to the gentleman who talked to me to get some pricing from them and see if you want to go forward with one of them.
Well, I think we need to do something about it before we go to the hay-baling time and mow it down and get some money out of it.
Yeah, two people have expressed interest, so I was gonna reach out to them if you're all right.
Should we advertise so no one gets bent out of shape if they didn't know it was available?
That's up to you, as the law director's here and he can correct me, but it's your discretion how you wanna do that. It's your land, you can lease or let somebody bale that hay. I'd be real concerned if we didn't know the person or have confidence that they do a good job, so I might go with people you know rather than throwing it out there.
Well, certainly there are aren't there two people that have shown interest?
There's somebody who's bailed it for Mr. Hoffman for the last umpteen years, and then there's a young man that lives, I think, adjacent to the property that does farming, and they both reached out. I'd probably stick with those two for now. It's not gonna be a lot of money they're gonna get off of it, or we're gonna get from it.
I would say realistically, they're, unless they're close to it, they're not even gonna be interested based on the cost it would be to get there.
Yeah,
I think that's what's attractive about the two that have asked.
I think it's 20 acres worth of baling, does that sound right?
That's about right.
So if you want me to, I'll reach out to them and see where they're at
I would.
and get back with you on that. But the other use of the land we talked about, I think we need to move on from that, at least for now.
Anything else?
I have something, I thought it was gonna be on the agenda, I apologize, and I just made myself a note. The HSA money comes up this pay period. And, you guys, Jack sent me the resolution where you guys approved
Right.
to do it, go ahead and do it. What wasn't clear in that for me anyways, was, and frankly, to spend that much money without a vote, I just kinda, even if it's just a reaffirmation, yeah, but it's a reaffirmation, but,
Why do we need to do that?
because it's $400,000.
We voted on it last year.
Okay, so I just want in the minutes that I asked you for a vote, and if you wanna say no, that's fine.
We
But
have
did
the-
you
we have
put
the
it in there
resolution.
that it was quarterly or annual in the resolution?
Yeah, did you read the resolution?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
If it is,
I
you don't
think-
need,
I think
if
it
you
was.
tell me, I'm good with that
Yeah,
then.
it was annual.
Okay, then the only other thing I would like to add to that is that we, did not do the right amounts for 4 men that, had their, insurance taken out, so I'm going to ask that, because it was tax deferred, I can't just write them a check because it was tax deferred. So what I'd like for you to do is, I'm gonna just read the 4 guys' names, their amounts in, and then with your permission, I'd like to add it to that amount at this pay period, if you're okay with that. Okay, and it's, Kyle Lalich, it's $119.22. Actually, I don't think I need to read the 4 guys, it's 4 guys, and the total amount is less than $500. But I need to pay them back, and I need to do it in a way that,
Not taxable.
that's not taxable, okay?
That's right.
Okay.
I got you. So we want to amend those 4 individuals, which will be in the minutes, for their.
Yeah, and I don't know if you need to vote on that or not, but what we're doing is what happened was that the wrong amount was being taken out on their monthly amounts.
Why don't you just do a motion to that effect for those 5 for the amounts that you said?
Okay, and then that way I can pay them back.
Okay. Is there a motion to have Linda to pay the additional amount that was not taken out to the 5 individuals
So moved.
with the HSA this year?
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Anybody have anything else? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah.